After putting a ton of hours into Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League and reaching the end game, there are definitely some things I wish I did differently. So in this video, I want to go over some mistakes you can easily avoid, like locking yourself out of an amazing XP farm, key features and items you want to get as soon as possible, and way more. Now the biggest mistake you want to avoid is not focusing on your support squad. The characters you recruit to help you in the Hall of Justice all have their own quest chain too, and you can easily check which ones are available by pressing triangle or Y on the map. The reason why these are important is that they unlock some pretty key features that will really help you during both the story and the end game. For instance, completing Hack's set of missions will increase the amount of contracts you can have active from 2 to 5, which means you're able to earn resources much quicker. So that's definitely something you want to do during the campaign, so you can have more contracts active and start earning more rewards right away. Another really important quest chain is for Lex, as his missions increase the amount of levels you can acquire on a weapon, which of course unlock the nano enhancement points that increase a weapon's stats. After completing the entire quest chain, you're able to find weapons that can reach level 15, allowing you to unlock every single upgrade for it. So the sooner those weapons are added to your loot pool, the better. But I'd argue that the two most important support members to focus on are Ivy and Toyman, although they are mostly useful for endgame activities. Ivy's mission chain unlocks new elemental afflictions for you, so if you want to have access to venom, fire and shock powers, you have to complete these missions. And finally, Toyman's chain of missions unlocks new augments to modify your gear with, so you can fine-tune your build. Which is already nice, but it's actually his two missions you can do after the campaign that are the most important. The first one allows you to handpick the augment you want to put on an item by paying extra resources, and the second one allows you to upgrade an item to the elite status. This doesn't increase the stats, mind you, but instead it makes the item much more customizable. You see, when customizing augments on a normal piece of gear, you can only change a single one and then the other ones become locked. But with an elite item, you can modify every single augment, which really allows you to create the perfect loadout for some endgame activities. So you see why you want to do these support missions as soon as possible, but there is one exception, and that is Gizmo's quest chain. You want to save the last mission from his chain because it serves as an excellent XP farm that you lose access to if you complete it. While it's not super efficient for leveling characters, it does allow you to farm a ton of experience to unlock the higher invasion difficulty tiers that in turn allow you to earn more XP and resources. And it's super simple, just jump into a vehicle, kill as many enemies as you can, don't hand in the data shards required to complete the mission, and find a new vehicle to start killing again. As long as you don't complete the quest objective, you can infinitely farm XP here to unlock those endgame difficulty levels. And speaking of endgame, we'll have guides on how to tackle that up on the channel soon, so subscribe to not miss those, and if you've enjoyed the video so far, it would be awesome if you could leave a like. And while these new features are already rewards enough of themselves, you also get some pretty amazing gear from doing the support squad missions. Most of them reward you with a set of infamous items themed after the character you're helping. Infamous items have extra buffs that trigger if you have multiple items from the set equipped, but since the bonuses are pretty powerful, they're very worth it. So for example, by completing Penguin's quest chain, you get access to his traversal mod and grenade. Having both equipped changes your traversal attack to deal 0 damage, but instead freeze all enemies hit. You also regain 2% shield when killing frozen enemies, so a very potent combo. I also love the items I got from Ivy's quest chain, as they gave me a stacking chance to inflict a random element on a crit. With my crit focused Deadshot, I was able to absolutely wreck house using this, which is definitely another reason to focus on these missions instead of making the mistake of leaving them for later. And when you are moving between these support missions, there are also some mistakes you want to be wary of. Specifically, the rooftop gun emplacements you encounter pretty often are something you don't just want to fly or swing past, because it effectively means you're losing out on free resources. They are super easy to clear, as they only require you to kill 3 or 4 enemies and then shoot the weak point on a cannon or another piece of artillery. Once you do that, you can scoop up some crafting materials, and while it's not much, it totally adds up over time for the limited effort it takes. So if you keep doing these as you come across them, you'll be stocked up once you reach the end game, which is where you need these materials the most anyway. You can also grab yourself some extra gear by visiting Aaron Cash close to the exit of the Hall of Justice. You can claim a care package with free loot and or crafting materials from him every day, which can be upgraded by shooting down the flying drones you find throughout the city. You have to shoot quite a bit of drones in order to upgrade upgrade it, but even if you don't, it's literally free loot you can claim every day, so don't make the mistake of skipping on it. When out in the city, you also want to keep an eye out for Lootenauts, so the golden loot bugs that start appearing after the Chapter 2 main mission marching orders. I've had multiple notorious drops from these, so as soon as you see the Lootenaut radar pop up in the top right, make sure you go after the creature. And speaking of notorious drops, you can already earn some amazing weapons to use during the campaign. There are 2 specific missions that reward you with notorious items, so the ones with a unique villain theme perk, and since there is no level-based weapon scaling, any weapon you find is viable for the endgame. However, you do need to keep in mind that the reward you get is based on the character you're playing, so you want to enter the specific missions with your main character. The first of these missions is That's Not Canon in Chapter 3, so the one where you have to blow up one of these giant cannons for the first time. If you do it with Deadshot or Boomer, you get the Black Mask Sniper, which is a weapon I've literally used for the rest of the campaign. But if you're playing as Harley, you get the pistol and Shark will receive the minigun. So if you want a specific one of these weapons, you have to start the mission with the right character. While you can replay the missions, you do not earn the associated gear on repeated playthroughs. You can, however, craft the other weapons you didn't get at Penguin after looting your first one of the set, but you don't need to spend the resources if you know what character to pick. So when it comes to That's Not Canon and the second mission that rewards a notorious item, Chapter 5 Superman fight, make sure you enter them with your main character to earn some amazing loot for them. The downside of doing a lot of missions is that your inventory will eventually reach capacity. And while it takes a while before you reach the cap of 300, you want to clean some stuff out before you reach that point. And it's important to keep in mind that Suicide Squad is a bit of a different looter shooter than say Borderlands or Outriders. In those games, you can find loot at a higher level, so the same weapon but with better stats. But in Suicide Squad, if you find the same sniper at level 1 and 30, their damage would be exactly the same. So that means that the perks and augments on an item are much more important, and the items with a good roll are usable throughout your entire playthrough. So don't make the mistake of dismantling good items you got early in your playthrough, as these are still useful. Instead, you want to dismantle items without unique perks, so anything below the legendary rarity, or duplicate items with worse augments. This will grant you a lot of resources that you can then use to fine-tune the gear you do want to keep at Toyman. And while loot and levels are of course top priority, looking good while killing Brainiac's minions is also very important. If you want to earn new looks for the team, you need to go out of your way to do so, as outside of a single story related unlock, there are no new outfit cosmetics you can earn by simply playing missions. Instead, you need to earn them through the Riddler traversal challenges spread throughout the city. Rewards per challenge will be for a single character, so you can see which ones to do to unlock cosmetics for your main, and you only need to get 2 stars to earn all character cosmetics from a challenge, as all 3-star rewards are codex entries. So if you want to switch up your looks, make sure to cross these off your list. We'll have a ton more tips and tricks for Suicide Squad up on the channel soon, so subscribe to not miss those, and if you want, you can check out another Suicide Squad video by clicking on the screen. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!